This is the second time that I've had to make this drink, because the first time that I made it, I spilled it all over the floor trying to catch my light from falling, and it still fell, and then this was just all over my floor, and it was very, very upsetting, because this is not just coffee, this is hojicha. That shit is expensive, and so I had to make another one, and it's not as good, and I don't know why, but nonetheless, we are here. The year is 2012. Call Me Maybe and the first Hunger Games movie has just come out. You are in the prime of your life. Maybe. I don't actually know that, but I do know that your favorite show, Glee, has just entered its 3rd season. Glee had taken the world by storm at this point, including me. I don't know if you could tell by the everything about me, but I used to be a really big Glee fan, a Gleek, if you will. Please don't, though. I loved that show, man. I loved the actors. I was obsessed with it. I even did a Glee summer camp one year, and now you all know about that, so that's great. But maybe I wasn't as big of a fan of the show as I thought, because I was completely unaware that Chris Colfer, the actor who played the beloved Kurt on the show, wrote and starred in his own coming-of-age movie Struck by Lightning in 2012, also starring a fresh from Pitch Perfect Rebel Wilson. I can't believe that I missed this. This is right up my alley. Pitch Perfect is one of my favorite movies of all time. The cast of this movie is truly a 2012 time capsule, okay? We've got Haley from Modern Family, Angela from The Office, and Mr. Fancy Man from New Girl. Oh my god! It's a surprisingly star-studded cast for what seems to be a completely independently made film that I don't think that many people at the time knew about. But you know, that's what star power will get you, right? At that point in your career, you've got the money and the resources to get the cast and creative team of your dreams to tell whatever story that your heart desires. And that can be a very exciting and liberating adventure for a creative. But it does beg the question, is that always a good thing? Because this movie had a budget of $1.3 million and it made a whopping $28,000 in box office. So what happened here? Also, disclaimer before we get into this is not just like a hit piece on Chris Colfer. Okay, I have nothing against him. I think he's a very talented actor. I also know that he has a series of children's books called The Land of Stories that have been very well received, and I know that they've been well received because my friend Danny said he liked them, and Danny is cool, so I believe him. Thank you, Danny. But I just wanted to get that out of the way because this is not just like a hit piece on Chris Colfer. This is just a weird movie that I saw on YouTube at like 1 a.m. one night, and I have to show you all. The YouTube description for this movie goes as follows. Chris Colfer, Glee, and Rebel Wilson, Pitch Perfect, star in this hilarious comedy about surviving high school when your classmates don't get you, your parents are crazy, and all you have are your dreams. Okay, you know, that sounds like your pretty classic high school coming-of-age movie. The film is also rated TV-14, so I feel like there's gonna be some cursing, maybe some like... sorry. Some adult themes, you know? And you know what? I was right. Because what is more adult than starting your movie off with your main character fucking dying? This is Carson, aka Kurt. He has died, unfortunately. Rest in peace, King. So sorry about that. He has been struck by lightning. There is no rhyme or reason as to why this event has occurred yet. Maybe we'll find out, but this has happened. So the rest of this movie is a flashback of the past few months that he's been alive from Carson's perspective. Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with using the "so how did I get here" trope. Like, that's fine. Personally, not my favorite, but you know, if it has like a good build up and like a satisfying payoff, then I don't really mind that sort of thing. Well, I am going to tell you right now that it does not. But we're gonna watch this anyway. If I have to watch it, then you have to watch it. Sorry. So we get to learn a little bit about Carson's backstory, how he grew up, and basically, Carson is a little freak, okay? He's a little weirdo. He doesn't fit in, and he doesn't want to fit in, okay?
What do we call that? Not addition, but...
homicide.
Carson.
I was advanced at a young age.
He was born and raised in this small town called Clover, and his thing is that he's always wanted to be a writer. He has a dad, Mr. Fancy Man, who's an asshole.
Kid's a pussy.
What? And his mom, Allison Janney, becomes an asshole when the dad leaves. He also has a grandmother who gets dementia and has to live in an assisted living facility. It's also at this point in the movie that you kind of feel like something is off. The soundtrack is not really matching the vibe of what is going on screen.
We just started going back to counseling. You can't just...
And this will be a common theme going forward. So now Carson is in high school. It's just him and his alcoholic, pill-popping mom, and they low-key hate each other.
If you were decent, you would just let me sleep.
If I was decent, I'd just put you to sleep. High school.
We follow Carson to his high school where we see that he is not well liked. My guy is not popular by any means. And I'm gonna be honest, I think I understand why. He is fucking annoying. If I went to school and I was trying to just get to my class and this kid was yelling, cattle, cattle, cattle,
Cattle, cattle.
as I was trying to get to my fucking locker, yeah, I wouldn't like him either. He also argues with, oh my god, this like got me so upset.
Hold up. There are imaginary numbers now? Are there unicorns in the next lesson? Can someone please teach me something useful, like how to balance a checkbook?
You're in algebra. Go to econ. So as you can see, he's not like most boys. He doesn't want to stay in the small town of Clover, okay? He's got big dreams. He wants to go to Northwestern University and he wants to become the editor of The New Yorker. That's great. He has a meeting with Angela, who is the college advisor, and she is by far my favorite character in this movie, okay?
Every application, I get a point towards a juice cup. Do you juice? Because it's really changed how I feel.
But basically, Carson has a meeting with Angela where he's like, I'm the president of the Writers Club and the editor of the newspaper club, and I need to get into Northwestern. I've already applied, haven't heard back. I check the mail every day. What's going on? Can you please call them? And she's like, yeah, okay, sure.
I will do anything to get into that school.
So now we're introduced to the cliques. Every high school movie has their cliques, or in this case, they are clubs. We've got the cheerleaders, who is led by Haley from Modern Family.
She smells like gluten.
We've got the yearbook club, and our second body-shaming joke in a row.
I don't want any fatties on the back to school night page.
I love 2012. There's also the athletes and the drama club, and I have a big issue with the drama club. I know that this movie is full of stereotypes, right? As classic high school movies go, I understand that. But the way that the drama club is introduced in this movie is so offensive to me as an ex-theater kid. The first look that we get of them is they do about a 10-second dance rehearsal, and then Scott, the gay character, turns around and goes,
I've been giving this a lot of thought. Meryl Streep as Mama Rose. Thoughts?
Yes, done.
Hugs. Hugs.
who do you think we are? Our culture is not a costume. This is the only beef I have with Chris Colfer. Chris Colfer, you were a theater kid. You played a theater kid on Glee, a gay theater kid on Glee, and this is how you're going to introduce the theater kids? I'm calling Mr. Schuster, you're getting locked up. I'm calling Mr. Schuster as the Grinch, even scarier. Anyways, Carson is the president of the Writers Club and the editor of the newspaper club, and these are the loser clubs in this universe, okay? No one likes them. The newspaper club has some members, and none of them contribute anything, which makes Carson really upset. And the only other member of the Writers Club is Mallory, aka Rebel Wilson. And she is not like other girls, okay? She's a little bit awkward, she's a little bit weird, and she records everything on her camcorder. And of course, it wouldn't be a 2012 Rebel Wilson movie if they didn't make her make a racially profiling joke, so.
All God blessed me with was this flawless complexion and really good table tennis skills. I'm like Asian good.
So Carson and Mallory are kind of friends, and they talk about writing, and Mallory sucks at writing, and Carson is the best author the world has ever seen, obviously. And the monologue that he gives in this scene, you just know that he wrote it for himself to say in the movie.
It's a lot like,
Lightning.
Oh, Carson's also on the student council. He is involved.
I will do anything to get into that school.
And so are all the other leaders of all the other clubs, and they all fucking hate him.
I hate you more than I hate the Holocaust.
Now we get to see some more of Carson's mom, and Allison Janney does an amazing job at playing this hot mess of a character. But honestly, it feels like she is in a completely different movie than the movie that Carson is in. She goes to get her prescription filled, and she meets the new pharmacist, April, who is very happy. She's pregnant, she just got engaged, and she's moved to this new town. But plot twist, April is actually the fiance of Mr. Fancy Man, Allison Janney's ex-husband, and they just moved back into town.
And that lunatic has nothing to do with us, our life, or our child.
Okay, I know that I've been talking a lot of shit about Carson. You might be thinking, you're being a little too harsh. You know, like, this kid's, he's got a lot going on at home, he's got a backstory, like, he just got a dream, you know? Like, calm down a little bit. Maybe he's a little bit annoying, but that's okay. Well, you are all about to look really fucking stupid right now because I'm about to get this bitch canceled. At school, Carson is in the bathroom, and he catches Scott, the gay, and Nicholas, who, he's just the rich kid. I didn't mention him before, but just, he's on the student council. Every line he says is just about being rich.
It might run us over budget. So, Nicholas, do you think your dad could cover it?
He's never turned us down before.
But he catches them fucking macking in the boys' bathroom.
I am shocked. Amused, but shocked.
And what does Carson, our allied king, decide to do with this information? He decides that he is going to blackmail them and say that he won't out their relationship to the school if the two of them write for the school newspaper.
Since I will be keeping my mouth shut about your, inabilities, not to.
What? Now listen, I know that this is 2012. I'm aware that people let a lot of shit slide, especially at the expense of marginalized groups of people. But y'all, this is supposed to be our protagonist. We're supposed to root for him. And we're threatening gay kids? Kurt, you're going against your own team. And the worst part about this scene is that it really does not affect the plot going forward at all. The school paper doesn't get more popular, at least that we're aware of. I don't think they ever mention it again because Carson goes back to Angela and Angela's like, yeah, they're still waiting to hear back, but the stuff that you're doing isn't really enough. Like Northwestern needs more extracurriculars. How about you do a literary magazine?
Well, I think it would show them that you can inspire others to write while writing yourself.
Okay.
So, fuck the newspaper. Now we're doing a literary magazine. Oh yeah, also in the B plot, April and Mr. Fancy Man, I know his real name, I don't remember what it is. They have a meeting with their attorney where the attorney tells them that they cannot get married because Mr. Fancy Man is still married because his ex-wife never signed the divorce papers. And this is where we find out that April had no fucking clue that he was married or had a son before they met.
Okay, I've gotta go.
April.
Don't you dare.
What? That is diabolical. Honestly, like, I think that this movie should have been about her, like the plot that she goes through, and this is so much more interesting. Just give me this movie without Carson. And I'm so good. So Fancy Man calls Cheryl, which is, oh, that's the mom's name, Cheryl. And he comes over so that she can sign the divorce papers.
So I'm gonna come over there this afternoon and I'm not leaving until we do. See you soon.
And this scene is just like so awkward to watch. And I know that it was on purpose and they did a very good job because like my skin was crawling throughout all of it.
Oh, please, please, please.
Okay. I'll see you.
So it's not a bad scene, but again, it's just like, it feels like it's a completely different movie than the story that we have with Carson. Usually a B plot is supposed to intersect with the A plot at some point and provide some sort of payoff or like raise the stakes of the A plot. But the only way that Carson is involved in this messy divorce storyline is when he goes over to dinner to meet April and Fancy Man like fucking gaslights him and makes him look crazy and Carson storms out. And like, it doesn't really have any effect on Carson's story. And they really made Fancy Man a fucking asshole, which I guess shows like why Carson is an asshole, but like, damn.
Sure we did. You just don't remember. I don't think you remember.
No, I would remember something like that.
You're exaggerating. He's actually exaggerating.
It's also this very tiny little subplot. I struggle to say it's a subplot. It's literally like 2 scenes where Cheryl goes to a psychiatrist to get help, which love that for her. Mental health, let's fucking go. But the psychiatrist just ends up suggesting that Carson should go on antidepressants.
Well, in all honesty, I think all teenagers need them whether they're depressed or not. You know, teenagers are so full of hormones. They don't know what the hell they want. Yeah.
Which like, hey, that's not a solution to her problem. That's like me telling my doctor that I'm tired all the time from working too much and so they light my job on fire. So Carson is obviously against this when Cheryl brings it up, and he goes on this rant, which like, as someone who was recently diagnosed with ADHD, it makes me want to fucking choke him out.
We start drugging kids with ADD, which they all have.
But the mom is no good either, because she basically explains that when Carson was younger and they were getting a divorce and he was asking a bunch of questions, she would slip ADD meds into his food so that he would shut the fuck up.
I thought I was just really calm and mature for my age. No, you were drugged.
Everyone in this movie is a horrible person. But they make this deal that Carson will take the antidepressants if she gives him $300 to start his literary magazine. And guess what? We never hear about the antidepressants again. I don't know if they like cut a scene or something, but like we literally never hear about them again. He does not act any differently on antidepressants. Like, that's it. And at this point, I'm really fucking ready for something to like actually happen in this movie. So Carson doesn't know how to get people involved in the literary magazine since everyone fucking hates him. At the Writers Club, Mallory tells him that he saw Claire, the head of the cheerleaders, Haley Dunphy, hooking up with the football coach, which is like, oh my god, what the fuck? That's so gross.
They had work in the magazine, then everybody would want to have work in the literary magazine. It just makes you think, though. Everybody has something to hide. Even Claire Matthews.
I wonder if that's gonna come up later. Well, it does, because immediately after we get this scene where Claire takes Carson's truck engine at the homecoming parade to pull the cheer float, and so he has to like manually pull the Writers Club float, and it's like, why do you even care about the float anyway? Like, you're so done with this town. Why are you so involved with the school? I understand it's to put it on the resume, but like, Northwestern's not gonna care that you had a float in the homecoming parade. But this is the incident that makes Carson hit his breaking point. So now the plot of this movie has finally begun. From this point forward, it is Operation Clovergate.
So many people to blackmail, so little time.
We are halfway through this movie, and this is the first time that we have like an actual plan of action. So the plan is to blackmail the most influential people in the school to get them to all write on the literary magazine.
But then again, Columbus wasn't sure if North America was there, but it didn't stop him from sailing to it.
Amen.
And once he was there, you know what he did?
What?
He enslaved every single Indian around him.
Oh, you little Indians, look out.
Yeah.
And like the previous dirt that they got on their peers, the scandals the other kids have are not so light either. They get Remy, the head of the yearbook club, to send explicit photos to Carson, and then he threatens to share them to the school. He also like threatens other people, but like none of it matters. It's all stupid. It's all bad. So they have this meeting, and then Carson delivers this monologue that really feels like the beginning of his villain origin story.
I've got a whole hell of a lot to gain and nothing to lose, and this time, none of you are stopping me. Write about how much you hate me. Write in detail about how much you want to kill me, okay? Now get the hell out of my classroom!
But it works. Everyone that he threatens starts writing for the literary magazine, and he has a ton of material. Is this the lesson that the movie is trying to tell us, that blackmail works? Am I supposed to feel happy for him that he is finally getting what he wants? I'm not. I'm actually pissed at him more. So now we're at the part of the movie where everything has to go to shit so that there maybe is some sort of redemption arc. Honestly, I think that everything has already been going to shit, and Carson is not redeemable, but that's just me. So the principal calls a meeting with the student council to announce that next semester there's going to be a new rule.
All book covers, backpacks, and clothing displaying logos and writing are strictly forbidden.
It is a really fucking weird rule, which kind of like, no, it actually completely comes out of nowhere. It's also kind of ironic since this is a movie, so there haven't been any logos or writing on anything throughout the entire course of the movie. Like, Carson literally wears the same hoodie and blue shirt in every scene. But nonetheless, Carson decides to speak out against this, and the principal decides to revoke all student off-campus privileges for the rest of the year to punish him, which of course makes everyone fucking hate him even more.
Thanks to you, we have to have prom in the cafeteria.
We'll be spending a lot of time there since we can't go off campus to eat anymore.
And then Angela tells Carson that he was actually accepted into Northwestern, but they never got a confirmation from him, so then he was denied, which is devastating.
It must have gotten lost in the mail. I checked every day.
So what the fuck happened to the letter? And on top of all of that, his grandmother fell. I haven't really mentioned this, but throughout the movie, Carson has been going to visit his grandma in the assisted living facilities, and I didn't mention it because it really didn't add anything to the plot, but she's fine. I guess. She just had a little wobble. Carson and his mom talk outside, and he basically explains what happened with Northwestern, and let me take a sip before I tell you about this. Cheryl tells him that the reason that he never got his acceptance letter was because
I threw your letter away. What? Wanted to protect you.
Protect me?
That is so fucked up. This is the only moment in the movie that I actually do feel bad for you, Carson, because what the fuck? That is diabolical behavior. Obviously, Carson is really fucking pissed, and we get this montage of him out on his own. He beats up the Clover sign. It's also where we find out that he has a convertible for some reason, which is, I feel like, a really random car choice to have, but that is what he drives. So cool, I guess. So back at school, Carson and Mallory, they pack up the literary magazines that didn't sell, which was all of them, and they have a little heart-to-heart, which is great, but like, I don't care. They did not do Rebel Wilson justice in this movie, okay? But nonetheless, Carson asks why Mallory records everything.
With good memories come bad memories, and I've got a lot of both. At least this way I can fast forward through all the bad stuff.
But it does seem to give Carson a little bit of perspective, because then he realizes that he does have just one more story to write. And what is that story? Who knows? It doesn't matter, because Carson is feeling a little bit more hopeful. You know, it doesn't matter that everyone hates him and that he can't go to his dream school. He still has this magazine full of the thoughts and feelings of the people that he grew up with.
For the first time in my life, I was truly happy.
And then he fucking dies. So now it's the present day. Everyone is finding out that Carson died. And low-key, no one fucking cares, except for Mallory and his mom.
The yearbook club will not spare a page to remind people that Carson Phillips was zapped in the parking lot.
And I will shout out this scene where the mom gets confronted by the police and finds out that he has died. And it is extremely well acted and very hard to watch because it is very raw and very dramatic. And it is a beautifully done scene.
Please answer your phone. Answer your phone. I need to know you're okay.
Does not fit the vibe of the movie, but it is so well done. And you know what the worst part is? That's it. that's the end. He just dies, and people are like, whatever, I guess. No one really learns a valuable lesson in this movie. Like, the student council has one moment of reflection.
Second thought, the safari prom idea kind of sucks.
But pretty much everyone else is like, okay. So that is the part of the video I've scripted. This is the part of the video where I have not scripted, because I would like to talk to you about this. We're gonna have a conversation about this film. Is it the worst film in the world? No. Is it the best film in the world? Absolutely not. The reason that I was drawn to this movie and why I wanted to make a video about it was because it was made and involved a lot of very talented people, but the movie itself still wasn't very good. And I looked at reviews, and the reviews of the time that it came out were raving about it. They loved it. And I know that this is based on a different film, and I haven't watched that film, but it kind of makes me think about the influence that Star Power has on projects that they are involved in. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that I was not interested in downloading Merge Mansion because I saw Pedro Pascal and the ads for it, okay? Seeing a familiar face and someone that you like in something is going to change your perception of that piece of media. Of course, people also have different tastes, and that is fine, but with this movie, it just seemed like a lot of people just really liked the fact that Chris Colfer was in it and that he made it, rather than really looking at the film objectively, and that is what I'm doing now. Many years after retiring as a Gleek, I thought that we would look at this film, and I want to know what you all think. Did you remember this when it came out? Did you like it? But that's it. That's this video. I hope that you enjoyed. I want to upload more, and I say that in every video, but I do want to upload more because I'm having fun and it's great. But yeah, if you liked this video, give it a like, give it a comment, let me know what you thought. I would also love to see your comments on the art that I have behind me, and maybe I'll do an art tour later because I've got a lot of art. I also have like a bunch of art on this wall that I haven't shown you. But yeah, that's all I got. I hope that this video is fixed in editing because I feel like I was really just all over the place. I'll see y'all in the next one. Mwah. Bye. Also, you freaks, I'm not doing the live stream. I'm not doing the live stream because you all are, if I do a live stream, you all are just gonna be like, where's the coffee? Where's the coffee? Where's the enema? Where's the enema? I'm not doing it. You all are freaks and geeks and losers and weirdos, and I love you all, but I hate you all. No, you little rats. You little rats. All right, anyways, can you see my cat? Okay, I'm done. Bye.